Music isn't just sound. Sometimes it opens a door, sometimes it sets a trap, and sometimes it calls to you. In 2022, I started working as a sound engineer at Drake's private studio in Toronto at a secret location away from downtown. It was a dream job. The place where Grammy-winning albums were made. The creative center of the world's biggest rap star. But nobody told me about the night shifts. Nobody told me what happened after 3 a.m. And nobody explained what that voice was. The first day, everything was normal. Modern studio, state-of-the-art equipment, professional crew. Drake was polite and focused. "We're working on a new album," he said. "Something different. Never heard before." The first 2 weeks were standard recordings. Beats, vocal layers, mix-down work. But Drake's working hours were strange. He'd start at 10 a.m., finish at 6 p.m. Then everyone would leave. Everyone. Except me. "There are night shifts," the manager had said. "Drake sometimes wants to do spontaneous recording late at night. You'll be on standby." The money was good too. Double overtime I couldn't refuse. On my first night shift, I waited until 11 p.m. Drake didn't come. The studio was empty. Just me and that massive mixing board. At 2:45 a.m., the door opened. Drake walked in. But he was different. His walk, his look, his energy, like he was someone else. "Ready?" he asked. His voice was normal, but there was something underneath. A vibration. "Yeah, what are we recording?" He smiled, but his eyes weren't smiling. "I'm going to talk to them." Drake entered the booth, put on headphones and approached the microphone. "Test, test," he said in his normal voice. Then he stopped, closed his eyes. 5 seconds of silence. Then he started talking. But this wasn't Drake's voice. It was deeper, older, like several voices were coming from his throat at once. "I told you. They're ready. Frequencies open. Message will be delivered." I looked at the mixing board. Sound levels were normal. But there was something strange on the spectrum analyzer. The sound wave wasn't singular. There were interwoven layers, like other voices were talking underneath Drake's voice. "Who is he talking to?" I asked myself. Drake continued. "Album ready. Millions will listen. They won't hear, but they'll receive. Every beat, every word, every breath." I stopped the recording. "Drake, is everything okay?" He opened his eyes, looked at me, but like he didn't recognize me. "Who's talking?" he said. "Me, the sound engineer." "No," he said, shaking his head. "Who's talking to me?" In my head, there are voices. After that night, I did research. Subliminal messages, hidden frequencies, audio manipulation. Most of it seemed like conspiracy theory, but some things made sense. There are frequencies the human ear can't hear, but the brain processes. Below 18 hertz and above 20 kilohertz. You can embed messages in these frequencies. The next night he came again, same time, 2:45. This time I was prepared. Hidden recording device, spectrum analyzer, frequency isolator. "We're doing something different tonight," Drake said. "A children's song." Children's song? Drake never made children's music. He entered the booth. I started the beat, a cheerful, simple melody. Drake began singing. "Sing along, everybody sing along." But on the spectrum analyzer, I was seeing something else. Under every sing-along, at 16 hertz frequency, there were other words. Obey, consume, surrender. My heart raced. This was intentional. Drake was consciously adding these. Or was he? When the recording ended, Drake came out of the booth. He was tired, sweating. "How was it?" he asked. Good, but... Drake, there are other voices under the song. He stopped, looked at me. What voices? Subliminal messages, obey, consume, surrender. His face changed. Fear or surprise? You can hear them? He said. Yes, with the equipment. Are you doing this intentionally? He sat down, put his hands to his face. I'm not doing it, he said. They are. Who are they? I don't know. It's been like this for 3 years. They come every night. They talk in my head. They make me sing, and I'm just an instrument. I approached, put my hand on his shoulder. Drake, this is serious. This could be affecting millions of people. He looked at me. There were tears in his eyes. You're starting to be affected too, he said, because you can hear them now. Everything changed after that night. When I tried to sleep at home, I heard it. Whispers, very faint, almost like imagination. Listen, record, spread. At first I thought it was sounds from Drake's studio stuck in my head, but it was getting stronger. When I went to work the next day, Drake was waiting for me. Do you hear them? He asked. Yes. How many days? Since last night. He nodded. It took me 3 years. You caught it very quickly. What does this mean? Drake led me to the archive room in the corner of the studio. There were hundreds of tapes, hard drives, recording devices. This is, he said, the real archive. Recordings that were never released. He put a tape in the player. Drake's voice came out, but completely different. Younger, more frightened. Help me. I'm losing control. They're in my head. I don't know what they want. When was this recorded? 2019, the year it all started. After the Scorpion album, Drake began telling me. I was at the top then. Every album hit #1. Every song went viral. But it wasn't enough. I wanted more. What did you do? I researched old recordings. The real story of the 27 Club, Morrison's final recordings, Hendrix's secret sessions. They all had something in common. He pulled out another tape. This, he said, is Jim Morrison's unreleased final recording. After he left the Doors, he put it in the player. Morrison's familiar voice came out. They spoke to me in frequencies, promised immortality through music. All I had to do was let them in. I froze. Morrison heard them too? Not just him. Cobain, Winehouse, Prince's final period, they all talked about the same thing, the voices behind the music. And you summoned them? Drake smiled, but it was a painful smile. I didn't summon them. They found me, because I had the power to influence my listeners, and they needed that. Who are they? I asked. Drake thought. I don't know exactly. But they're very old. They've existed since music existed. Every era they find a few chosen artists. They use them. He pulled out other recordings from the archive. Elvis's secret recordings. Sounds from the Beatles, Paul is Dead period. Tracks removed from Michael Jackson's final album. We listened to all of them. They all had the same thing, subliminal messages, hidden frequencies, and the artist's frightened voices. But why? I said. What do they want? Control. They want millions of people to think the same thought at the same time. Music is the perfect tool. Everyone listens. Nobody suspects. At that moment, the voices in my head got stronger. Don't tell. Secret. Keep. Safe. I started shaking. Drake noticed. They're starting with you too. What should I do? You can resist. I resisted for 3 years. But what? Eventually they take you. Like me. And you become their instrument too. That night, I left the studio, got in my car, started driving away from Toronto, but the radio turned on by itself. Drake's voice was coming through, but it wasn't live broadcast. He was speaking directly to me. You can't escape. You're one of us now. Come back. I turned off the radio. It turned on again. You will serve them too. You will make music too. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? It was my own voice. I was hearing my own voice on the phone. Come back. Come back to the studio. Your time has come. I threw the phone. It fell to the floor, but kept talking. There's no escape now. You're one of them. You will sing too. I went back to the studio. There was no other choice. Drake was waiting for me, but this time he was inside the booth, in front of the microphone. Are you ready? He said. Ready for what? For your first recording. The voices in my head were very strong now. I couldn't hear my own thoughts. Sing, record, spread the message. You are the vessel now. I walked toward the booth. My steps weren't under my control. I approached the microphone, opened my mouth, and started singing. But it wasn't my voice. It wasn't Drake's voice. It was a much older voice, much darker, and with every word, millions of people would hear this voice. They would be infected too. They would become like us too. Because music isn't just entertainment. Sometimes it becomes a virus, and we are its carriers.